Good morning. So today's an exciting day. Just a quick format here. We're going to have a couple speakers regarding how we got to this place today and kind of the bigger picture vision and some of the work we've done. And then you're going to hear from the county executive, Tom DeGise, who was also crucial to getting us to this point. We're going to hear from Bill Netchard, who's the president of the community college, and the genesis of this project today was a conversation that we had 5 years ago. And then you're going to hear from the president of the city council, Joyce Waterman, and then finally from OMA, who is the architect and consultant that the city hired a couple years ago to bring this to where it is today. So I'll start by saying that we did have a press conference this morning with international press. The governor was a part of that, and the president of the center, Pompidou. And today we want to talk a little bit more in the building so people can see, what we're actually talking about with regards to the transformation of Journal Square and the role of this building. Throughout the pandemic, before I talk to the scripted comments, I'll just say that throughout the pandemic, we did do a lot of work on this building. Prior to a year ago, there was classrooms in here and walls, and we did a lot of demolition work. And you could see we did demolition work on the second floor as well to clear it out. And we were pleasantly surprised, better than we could have hoped, with regards to the ceiling heights, both on this floor and the floor above, which will be perfect for what we're looking to do. So, like I said, today is a really exciting and important day for Jersey City. It's an important day for the state of New Jersey, and truthfully, it's an important day for the entire region with the announcement of the first partnership in North America with the Center Pompidou in France that will create the Pompidou Jersey City. With today's announcement, Jersey City will be joining Brussels, Metz, and Shanghai as partners at the Center Pompidou, which houses the largest collection of modern art in all of Europe. Today's announcements will not only transform arts and culture in Jersey City forever, but will have a meaningful impact on the state and country as a whole. The partnership will create a world-class museum in Jersey City that will give Jersey City full access to the Pompidou's immense collection of artwork and expertise. It will also widen attention to philanthropic opportunities for Jersey City's dynamic art scene. It will make Journal Square a tourist destination for hundreds of thousands of people. And most importantly to me, it will do two things. First, it will work with the arts community here to amplify their voices. And second, the children of Jersey City will have programming integrated here so that young people can have their horizons broadened. I wanted to take a second and explain how this came to be and the journey to get here. I think it's no secret that I've done my best to articulate a vision for Jersey City to become the best and most significant mid-sized city in the country, and that entails being willing to dream big and implement a vision. I've always said our residents deserve the best, and I've been committed to never settling for anything less. While, of course, working to improve the day-to-day operations of a city that make it run, we've tried to think big with major transformational projects and then meticulously work to achieve them, such as SciTech City, which will be one of the premier science campuses in the United States with tens of millions of dollars already raised from the private sector and is scheduled to break ground later this year, or the Newark Avenue Pedestrian Plaza that has created a vibrant street life with restaurants that attracts tens of thousands of people per day, or the $200 million municipal complex in Ward F that will be the most significant catalyst for the south side of the city in decades, or Bayfront, which is the largest mixed-income community in the region, with the city putting in more than $100 million to pave the way for 8,000 units, in which 35% will be affordable. Most cities could hope for one project that will achieve billions of dollars in economic activity, and here in Jersey City, we are proud that we have multiple. With the announcement today, Journal Square will be a destination with the creation of the Pompidou Jersey City across the street from the historic Lowe's Theater, which is a $72 million renovation, restoring a 3,000-seat theater to its 1929 glory that we announced earlier this year. And I think you could start to see the pieces are in place with transportation, with diversity, the county college across the street, the zoning that's here to return Journal Square to being the heartbeat of New Jersey with regards to arts and culture. The journey to get here today's announcement actually started in 2016 when I approached County Executive Tom DeGise, who you'll hear from shortly, and the president of the county college, Bill Netchard, with an idea for building a world-class museum at Pathside. The building was zoned for high-rise development at the time, and it was slated to be demolished and what I said to them, was that I believed we had the pieces to attract a major international partner and that wanted to be either in New York or the United States. And we had a special city, of course, and I wanted the opportunity to purchase it for Jersey City to be a major tourist attraction. Well, there were lots of questions in that conversation about plans and feasibility. I'm thankful that the county executive was supportive and agreed to sell the property to Jersey City. So the first thank you today goes to the county executive, Tom DeGeese, and Bill Netchard, who you'll hear from shortly, in believing that Jersey City could achieve a meaningful partnership and never settle for anything second best. The next step was getting the city council on board. You'll hear from the council president shortly. And we needed to get them on board for an idea that would cost approximately $10 million at the time to purchase the building. We discussed at length the risk and reward of the plan, and they ultimately agreed to us to give us a window of time, as he said, to try and achieve a big dream. The next step was we hired OMA as a consultant, who you'll hear from shortly as well, and they are the world leader with regards to museum design and architecture, and their task was to help us find a partner for the museum project that fit our goals. Our mission was to work with the community and further elevate the city, as I discussed earlier. We then did many community meetings with neighborhood groups from the Journal Square area and beyond, and the arts community in Jersey City to listen what they wanted. And we understood loud and clear we wanted a partner that will help our arts community, but at the same time it reaffirmed what we were trying to do on a broader scale. Finally, this is never an easy process and never without challenges from the beginning. But when we finally found a partner, the pandemic surfaced, which only made it more difficult for us to progress. We had to meet remotely to discuss a major international partnership. We leveraged international relationships and embassies, and when we were close, but not over the goal line, it was the state of New Jersey that stepped in to help us articulate the broader New Jersey dynamic. And the person most responsible for moving the ball there to help us, as I said earlier, was the First Lady, Tammy Murphy. Her knowledge in the art world, her familiarity with European culture from her time in the embassy with Phil in Germany, and the ability to speak to the broader advantages of New Jersey was the difference. And so I said this morning, a big thank you to Tammy, as we wouldn't be here without her. Partnerships like this aren't easy to obtain, and the Pompidou could have chosen any city in the entire country. But I'm thankful that today's announcement, it's another exciting step in Jersey City, truly being the most dynamic and exciting mid-sized city in the country. I'll just close by saying that there is no question the pandemic and the last year has changed cities forever, and across the country, we see cities deciding how they will reattract and reemerge stronger. Some cities like Miami are marketing to the tech industry and trying to create a second Silicon Valley. You see cities like in Texas creating the fact or pushing the fact that they're a tax-friendly environment for businesses. To Jersey City, I know unequivocally arts and culture will be the backbone of what makes us a city as a desirable place to live. So in just the last few months, we've taken some meaningful steps. We established the first arts trust fund to support local artists anywhere in the state of New Jersey. We announced the $72 million renovation of the Lowe's Theater across the street. Partners is Devil's Entertainment. We are building a free incubator space for local nonprofit arts organizations in downtown that's in the capital plan right now. And overall, we are making a bet that arts is part of what makes a city a great place to live. So today's announcement is another step in that direction. I thank you all for coming out today. I'm going to turn it over now to County Executive Tom DeGeese and ask him to say a couple words. Tom?
Thanks, Stu. Je m'appelle Tom. Now I know why I took French for 2 years at St. Peter's College. I thought I would never use it. It's been fun for us old-timers, and I've lived here for 70 years here. It's been fun over the last decade to see Journal Square finally bouncing back. It was heartbreaking for us to see the deterioration of the hotels, the closing of the businesses, the uncontrolled traffic, all the things that made Journal Square so grand was going away on us, and we didn't like that at all. I'm going to tell you, the importance of Journal Square to Hudson County. This is the center of the county, and it's also the highest point in Hudson County. So when we see the big buildings going up, they're not starting from sea level like they are downtown. They're starting from a place. And anywhere that you approach Hudson County by car, or if you're hiking or biking or whatever, you'll see those buildings out there. I'm a school teacher by trade, and I try to make a point sometimes by telling a story. So if I could tell a quick story, I hope I won't be boring you and taking up too much of your time. I went to St. Paul Lacrosse Grammar School, and up in the Heights section of Jersey City. And most of the city at that point was Catholic there. One day, the priest, I think it was Father Howe, asked all of the students from the 6th, 7th, and 8th grades to go into the church. He wanted to talk to them. And his message to us was that there was a new movie out, and it's called West Side Story. And West Side Story has been banned by the Advocate. So no Catholic would be allowed to go see West Side Story, which was playing at the Lowe's Theater as a new release. So, needless to say, me and a couple of friends got on the 44 bus, got off right over here, what used to be the bus terminal, and headed for the Lowe's Theater there. And there were kids with uniforms like mine. St. Paul Lacrosse had maroon. But if you had wearing green, there were also a lot of kids from St. Al's. And every school, there was a line of boys all the way up Kennedy Boulevard to Sip Avenue there and wrapped around there. The father's message didn't go. But most of the important cultural events happened here in Journal Square. We were talking a little bit before that in Journal Square, that's where you took a date. If you had a girlfriend, you would come up here, see a movie, go to lists. And this way, you didn't venture too far. Us guys from the Heights, we weren't that tough, and we weren't going down to Marion there. And it's now returning to its grandeur. With projects like this, over $90 million has been invested by the community college. Billy Netchett will probably talk about that a little when I shut up there. But it's good. And for Stephen and the administration, it's a major undertaking. We all understand that. But I think in Stephen's term in office, he has demonstrated that he will take on challenges, and he looks for challenges that he thinks will improve the quality of life. And this is one of them. So I can't wait. Anything the county can do to participate in the process of building this structure and this museum, I'm all for. So thanks for having me today, the folks from Jersey City. And again, anything I could do to help, I'll be there. Thank you.
I want to invite up Bill Netchett, who's the president of the county college. They are the largest landowner in Journal Square, and we are really tied to them in many ways in the success that they're about to see here. So I'll turn over to Bill. Thank you.
In my defense, I am the chairman of the board of the community college. I am not the president, and the president's watching somewhere. And we both apologize, Mr. President. As the mayor said and as Tom said, we met in 2017 right across the street on the library roof. We looked around at this beautiful Journal Square that I'm a little older than Tom. I took the last trolley in Jersey City to this property outside here. It was a bus stop, a bus station, and I watched it deteriorate. I've been the chairman of the board since 2005. As Tom says, we've spent close to $100 million in Journal Square. We're almost finished with our master plan. We do have a plan for something significant down the street. When the mayor came to me, I said, "You're nuts, but let me talk to the president." We are the Hudson County Community College, not Hudson County College. This was a great community idea. We're more than just educating people. We're into the community. The library is available for people in the community. The building that we're planning down the street will be available for the community to utilize. In that building will be a veterans center. It will be a gymnasium. There will be a wellness center in the building. And we've talked with the mayor a number of times. We continue to talk with the mayor and his administration. And I simply say there is more to come. We look forward to continuing to work with the mayor and his administration. I want to thank Tom while I'm here, because what we've accomplished at the college is certainly through the help and assistance of the County of Hudson in getting us here. And Mayor, on behalf of the Board of Trustees and the President and his administration, I assure you the cooperation and assistance of the community college. We look forward to partnering with you in this great endeavor. We're excited about it. Obviously, it's going to help us as well. You know, when I first came to the college, students didn't want to come to Journal Square to go to school. You know, Jersey City people would come to Journal Square to go to school. But the rest of the county was reluctant to come to Journal Square to go to school. We have a beautiful facility now in Union City, but this is where it's at, this is where it has to be, and we're available, Mayor, to help whatever way we can.
We have two more speakers. I'll invite up the Council President, Joyce Waterman. Like I said earlier, we wouldn't be here without the support of the City Council, willing to purchase this building and willing to support us working with OMA to find a partner. So I'll turn it over to the Council President.
Good morning. This is a great day for the city of Jersey City. You know, I was born and raised in this city, and at one time, Journal Square was really the vibrant place to go. You know, we would shop here, we would go to the movie theater here. It was the place. And then over time, you know, things happened and it was no longer talked about. Jersey City was a fearful place for people to come. And so I'm excited now that Pompidou is partnering with us, because you know what, when you understand the diversity of Jersey City, you know it's just a fit. It's like a puzzle, you know, and putting the pieces together. And Pompidou does that for Jersey City, because we are so diverse. There's so much life here. You know, there's so much difference. And when you really understand art, with all this pandemic that's going on, art is a healing mechanism too. And so I'm excited that it's coming to Jersey City. I know it will enhance the education, it will open up tourism here, and it'll spread the economic wealth. And not only that, it'll bring affordable housing somewhere up in here. So I'm excited. And so today's a great day. It's a sign of hope. We're coming out of this pandemic. So continue to stay safe, and may God bless this city of Jersey City. Thank you.
And last, before we open up to questions, I want to invite Jason Long up from OMA. As I said earlier, where's Jason? Come on up here, Jason. As I said earlier, Jason was tasked with the difficult responsibility to find us a partner, and it really was a global search, and I'm really thankful that the Pompidou saw all of the great attributes that Jersey City has, and that's in no small part to the work Jason has done. So Jason will talk a little bit maybe about the process, and then can walk you through a little bit of the design sketches and how this compares to other similar museums and cultural institutions. So I'll turn over to Jason.
Thank you very much, Mayor Fulop. And I want to thank everyone at Jersey City, the JCRA, and the state of New Jersey, and everything they've done to push this project forward. It's really an exciting development. I hope everyone agrees. As Mayor Fulop mentioned, our role has been to try to help the city find a partner for this new cultural entity. And we were fortunate to find in Centre Pompidou one that I think is really a perfect fit. You know, the Journal Square is undergoing a kind of renaissance, and we need here a new cultural anchor, in a way, to be its center point. Centre Pompidou has shown from its beginning an interest in creating multidisciplinary and very flexible cultural programs, and when it's thought beyond its own walls, it's always done so in a way that engages the local entity as a partner and focuses on engaging with the community in a very robust way. And I'm looking forward to working with the mayor and Centre Pompidou in developing the program of the building. This building itself that we're standing in was built more than 100 years ago by PSE&G. Public service is emblazoned on the Sip Avenue facade, and that's always been for us an indication that it had a real destiny as a public entity that would continue forward. As you know, it was also used most recently by Hudson County Community College, and I think it's a testament to Mayor Phillips' vision to see behind the classroom walls and office spaces that there would be the bones of a building here that could really well accommodate gallery spaces and other cultural functions. The building is 58,000 square feet over 4 different levels above grade and 1 below grade. It has the heights, as you can see here now that we've done some initial demolition on the first floor to accommodate galleries with 17-foot ceiling here and 14 feet on the floors above us. And it has a number of features. Most of the historical features of the building are intact on the facade and also on the glass canopy you see here. Its original function was office space, but also as a trolley station for PSE&G, and we think that this glass canopy will be an exciting way that the building can also engage with the city and allow culture to spill out into the city. You can see here on my right a historical photo from the early days of the building when it was a trolley station. Here to my right, a section through the building, a cut showing the different floor levels with some initial sketches of gallery use. And then over to my left, an initial rendering of the building showing how it will be once we do some initial renovation. And then lastly, a comparison to some other cultural institutions. The concrete structure of the building allows for a more than 45-foot span from columns to facade, which is a very good proportion for gallery in addition to the length of the building. The proportion of the kind of clear space here on the first level and the levels above is not dissimilar from, for example, the main gallery areas on the New Whitney Museum on the west side of Manhattan. We're just going to begin now doing the more detailed design, working with Pompidou and the city, and we're looking forward to those next steps and showing you more once we get there. Thank you so much.